Senator Murkowski recently admitted we are all afraid. The senator from Alaska, Lisa Murkowski, on April 14th, 2025, at a conference of nonprofit and tribal leaders in Anchorage, Alaska, was asked by a reporter, "What do you have to say to people who are afraid?" Murkowski replied, "We are all afraid." She went on to say that fear is rising to levels she has not seen before, and that she is oftentimes anxious about using her voice because retaliation is real. Now, she did not mention Trump's name. Maybe it's because of that fear that she spoke about. But most citizens of America know who Murkowski is referring to. Fear of retaliation under President Donald Trump's administration, which includes the Justice Department, the FBI, and the CIA, in my view, has become pervasive, even among seasoned lawmakers. It has been said that Murkowski, a four-term Republican senator, has been known for her independent streak and one of the few voices in her party willing to publicly challenge Trump. You cannot challenge anything or anyone if you begin in a state of fear. In my view, Murkowski has revealed just how difficult it is for her, and more importantly, how dangerous her opposition has become. As she said, "I'm oftentimes very anxious myself about using my voice because retaliation is real, and that's not right." These are not remarks of a person who should hold the position of a senator. Murkowski's remarks come among a wave of executive actions, mass firings, and aggressive restructuring of federal agencies led by the Department of Government Efficiency, also known as DOGE, headed by Elon Musk. Murkowski described the pace of change as head-spinning, noting that lawmakers are struggling to keep up with the sheer volume of upheaval. My interpretation of this statement is that Murkowski and others in elected positions are not prepared or able to do their jobs. And my interpretation seems to be correct, as Murkowski admitted that none of us understand the half of it. Well, if you don't understand the half of it, then you don't need to be in a position of power. Murkowski has faced intense political backlash for criticizing Trump's alignment with Russian President Vladimir Putin, his public berating of Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky, and his decision to walk away from long-standing U.S. allies. Murkowski has also spoken out against the dismantling of federal programs, including the proposed shutdown of AmeriCorps, which promotes public service and volunteerism. But what we should all take notice of as American citizens is the culture of silence and the culture of fear that Murkowski described among her Republican Party. Murkowski said, "They're looking at how many things are being thrown at me, and it's like, maybe I just better duck and cover, and that's why you've got everybody just zip-lipped, not saying a word because they're afraid they're going to be taken down. They're going to be primaries. They're going to be giving names in the media." This environment of fear that Trump has created raises serious questions about the health of American democracy. When elected officials like Murkowski are too afraid to speak out, not just against policy, but against unlawful or unethical behavior, the system of checks and balances begins to erode. Murkowski herself acknowledged this by saying, "Right now, we are not balancing as the Congress." Murkowski's call to action was clear. We cannot be cowed into not speaking up. It's a message that resonates beyond party lines, reminding us that courage in politics is not just about taking a stand. It's about protecting the integrity of the Constitution and the institutions that serve the public. In a time when silence is safer than truth, Murkowski and her fellow Republican colleagues must fight Trump's illegal and immoral policies with strength and power, and not cowardice. If these politicians cannot uphold their oath to the Constitution, which is to defend the Constitution of the United States against all enemies, foreign and domestic, which is what they were elected to do, then the American voters, the American citizens, must elect a congressman, a senator, and a president who will.